Everyone is talking about the benefits and why you should take cold showers, and that got me interested. Over the last 30 days, I took a cold shower for every day, and here's what I experienced. Back in the day when I watched a lot of self-improvement videos, and every third to fourth video, there was someone animating me to take cold showers. The benefits and everything that you will experience will just be amazing, and you will just miss out if you don't do it. That is at least what they have said to me, and that got me really interested. I was kind of at the beginning of self-improvement and I was snatching up every habit that I could take on. And therefore I thought cold showers would be very easy because you just spend 5 to 10 minutes every day showering. So over the last 6 months I took some cold showers here and there, but I never did it strictly for 30 days. But don't click off the video yet because I actually experienced some new aspects that I didn't experience before this challenge. So let's get right into this. There are 2 points that the benefits of cold showers evolve around: the mental state and the physical benefits. Let's start off with the mental state. What I experienced the first day when I started this cold shower challenge was that I was such a big pussy and that my discipline just wasn't high enough to really go under there. I mean, I was the person that started off with hot water and then gradually decreased it to a colder temperature. And even there, I wasn't able to fully put it on cold ice water. I was just able to do it on some colder temperatures that some people would say are just easy to withstand, and this was actually a very hard challenge for me. But on day 3, when I just jumped under the cold shower from second 1, everything has changed. I jumped under this ice cold water from the beginning on, and don't get me wrong, it was still f***ing cold. But after the first minute, I realized that my breaths began to slow down, that I was getting accustomed to the water temperature, and that it almost felt nice being under the cold water. I was still stuttering and shivering because, as I said, it was still f***ing cold, but it kind of was comfortable. It kind of gave me a feeling of happiness, of just feeling better about myself because I'm actually just doing this from the beginning on. And this is where we come to the first point. It gives you a stronger mind and builds your discipline. If you really just jump under the water from second 1, really don't be a pussy, put it on the most cold temperature that you can, and then just jump over it. I know that the first moment just jumping over it is actually very hard, because I'm still fighting with it till this day. But once you've done it, you know that you can just do it day in, day out, and then it will just gradually decrease until it's just part of your routine and you don't even really think about it anymore. The second point is that you inflict stress on yourself. I mean, it's honestly not that detrimental, it's just 1 minute, a shock, and that's it. But that was stress that you didn't need that day. And when you do that, your dopamine actually decreases under your baseline. So why should you do that? Because the thing is, right after, even for myself, while I was taking a shower, my dopamine increased and I suddenly felt happier. It was like I was being on drugs. Everything just looked nicer, I was just happier, and I just felt amazing. And this is what happens to you as well when you take cold showers. You get a huge dopamine burst that actually lasts up to 3 hours according to Andrew Huberman, and that won't even decrease further under your baseline after it. It will just decrease down to your baseline slowly so that you're 3 to 4 hours where you just feel happier. Who doesn't want that, right? Because if you compare it with other dopamine sources, as social media for example, as porn, as food, you realize that your dopamine also increases and that you're happy while you're indulging in it, but that you realize that afterwards, not even an hour later, you feel down and even depressed. Talking about depression, there was actually a study that was trying to prove if cold showers and this dopamine burst that you get could reduce the effects of depression. And while the study wasn't full on executed, they still realized that some of the students of this experiment actually felt a lot happier afterwards, and that this would actually take on for a few hours. And when we come back to Andrew Huberman and what he has explained happens after a cold shower, you can see the similarities between these two. The experiments that were depressed, that just were unhappy before, actually got into the cold shower, experienced some stress, and then had a dopamine increase which made them happier throughout the rest of the day. And this is what I experienced as well. Every time when I took a cold shower right afterwards, I just felt refreshed, I felt nice, and I even had motivation to do a lot of work afterwards. I don't know if it really was just a placebo effect, but it's definitely helped me to get onto work, to just feel a lot more comfortable working, and therefore be able to focus more on it. And as I said, before this challenge I actually also took some cold showers, but most of these mental effects I didn't experience. I maybe took a cold shower 2 or 3 times a week, and that was the highest point. The other showers were just warm, comfortable, where you just go under the shower to clean yourself and that's it. But when I really did this challenge after around the 5th or 6th day, I actually experienced these benefits of better focus, of feeling nicer, of building my discipline because I did it every day. And therefore, I really got a lot more benefits out of it just doing it every day. For the physical benefits, it obviously gives you a cleaner skin. But not just that you smell nicer and that you just look better, but that a cold shower doesn't dry off your skin. If you take a hot shower, a really hot shower, even just in comfortable temperatures, your outer skin layer starts to dry off, and therefore your skin just looks a bit rougher and not as clean. This also contributes to another effect, feeling refreshed. You know that feeling that I stated after cold showers? That I feel refreshed? I literally meant that. I had a feeling that was a cool and fresh feeling on my skin that actually also lasted for around 3 to 5 hours. I didn't just smell nice, but I also felt like it. And that also was what contributed to more focus, to more enjoyment in my work. So if you take a cold shower, you won't just feel better mentally, but you will also have a nice feeling on your whole body physically. Another benefit that I experienced was that when you do it first thing in the morning, you will fully wake up. I literally just stood up out of bed, got into my bathroom, and then took a cold shower. And don't get me wrong, taking it early in the morning is way harder than throughout the day or even after sport. You know that after sport, taking a cold shower is easy peasy. But when I started taking them first thing in the morning, it was f***ing cold. This was actually what has built most of my discipline. You have to imagine, I just got out of bed, wasn't even fully awake, and then you go under the cold shower and experience a lot of stress at the beginning of your day. It is horrible. It is f***ing horrible. But the thing is, afterwards, I was fully woken up. I had that fresh feeling over my skin, and the rest of the day just felt nice because I was very happy. And that is the thing. If you take the cold shower first thing in the morning, the rest of your day will just feel nicer. You will have more motivation, and in general, everything will just be more comfortable. Yeah, of course, you're a hard motherfucker and you want to do everything the hardest that you can get it. But taking a cold shower itself is very hard, and making your work, for example, more comfortable and therefore getting more work output is more worth it than just going through pain and suffering and therefore building your self-discipline that way. And to be honest with you, if you really want to do that throughout your whole life, then you kind of have to make your pain and suffering more comfortable. It sounds like it's contradicting itself, but that's the thing what you do with habits as well. Let's say that you want to make cold showering a habit of yours. Every day you want to take a cold shower, then you have to kind of make it more comfortable. If it is that you make the way to the cold shower more comfortable, that you just stand up, have all of your clothes already laid out because you did it the evening before that, and you just have to go under it. Of course, go through the pain and suffering, but just without thinking, have to go under it. Just do it 5 minutes and that's it. While the coldness will still give you a lot of stress, the procedure of going into the cold shower and therefore taking it will be far easier and more comfortable, which will in return guarantee that you will stick to this habit and that you can actually do it every day. But to come back to the topic, if you take the cold shower first thing in the morning, the rest of the day will just feel nice and you will have a very great start to your day. Then what I firstly just realized and then read in some articles is that my body was looking more defined. Like before that, my body just looked fat and I didn't really have a lot of curvature in my muscles and definition. But after the 30-day challenge, I realized that my body looked more defined. I mean, I'm now training 1.5 years now, and it could also be that was just training. But I would also say because of the effect that you clean just looks, that your skin just looks way smoother, that my body in general just looked more defined. And when I did some research, I actually found out that cold showers burn your fat. Cold showers accelerate the rate at which your brown fat, the fat which stores your energy, gets burned down. And therefore it makes your body more defined and even gets you to lose some weight. I know that you're bulking and that you need to get mass on. I mean, I'm in the same phase, but I would still recommend cold showering because first of all, a more defined body always looks better, and second of all, it won't lose you that much weight, so you can still out bulk it if you really want to. And the third point is that all of the benefits just mentioned before that point would just be worth it to do it anyway, because they don't just improve your health but also your mental state, and what is more worth than that? For me, nothing. What I also realized is that I increased my metabolic rate. I mean, I didn't concretely realize that, but I saw that, as I said, I was more focused on my work and therefore was just a lot more comfortable in my own body. And when I strictly focused on why that was the case, I realized that my breathing was just a lot more slowly and more calm. I realized that all of the breaths that I took a very long time to execute, which is normally a very good thing. When I worked, I actually took some breaths that took around 15 seconds, which is pretty good. What I also realized was that I have this habit of going jogging 2 times a week, and then I realized that my stamina was also increased by a lot. So what I concretely experienced was that my breaths were getting way calmer and that I even had more energy throughout the day. The last thing has a good and bad side to it, and it is that when you take a cold shower after you've trained, your muscles won't be as sore the next day after that. And that is normally a good thing, because you can go back into training not feeling that sore and therefore can just be more comfortable in your body the next day. But the bad thing is also what I found, that your muscle gains, the gains that you make, your muscle growth will decrease by a minimal amount. So for all the gym bros out there, this is the biggest con that ever could be. But as I said, the good benefits outweigh the bad benefits by so much that it is still worth it taking a cold shower. It is really just a minimal effect on your muscle growth, and while a lot of people search for maximizing it, I would take that into account and therefore forgo some of my muscle growth. So, should you yourself give this challenge a try? Definitely. As I said, it has so many good benefits that will just get you forward, and the time that you have to consume is only about 5 to 10 minutes. What good habit just takes 5 to 10 minutes a day and gives you so many benefits? Meditating, yes. Journaling, yes. And are these very good habits that you also should do? Definitely. And with cold showers it is the same. The time consumed, the amount of time that you have to put in is so minimal for the benefits that you get. So this really isn't just another trend on the internet, but it will actually get you further and will increase your health and mental state. And a lot of other people will also thank you for that, for being more hygienic and for not smelling throughout the whole day. By showering every day, you will improve your hygiene and will also, in some special cases like me for example, if you are in your teenage years or just have a lot of acne, this will also get rid of most of your acne. Here are some of the pictures that I took before and afterwards, and my acne has increased, or it therefore decreased by so much that my whole skin just looked way nicer. I actually had one of my sisters come up to me and speak about it and ask how I got rid of all of this acne. And it wasn't through some products, it was just through taking cold showers every day. And it will be more effective than all of the products that you can use for acne. So take on the cold shower challenge yourself, get more attractive, have a better mental state, and just get in these benefits. When you've done it yourself, then please leave a comment with your experience down below. Always keep your focus on your purpose. See you next time.